How's it going, guys? Lildogdog here, and today I'm bringing you a quest guide for Within the Light. This is the 8th quest in the Elf quest series and the final quest before Plague's End. So you're getting close to Prif. If you're following along with these guides, I appreciate the views. And make sure you leave a comment and like the video. So let's just get into it. The only quest requirement for this quest is going to be Morning's End Part 2. However, you do need to have completed all the prerequisite quests to that quest. So if you've completed Morning's End Part 2, you have nothing to worry about as you've obviously completed the prerequisites. Let's move on to the skill requirements. So in terms of skill requirements, you're going to need some pretty high level stats, including 69 plus agility, 70 plus fletching, 75 plus ranged, and 75 plus woodcutting. These are all the skill requirements that you're going to need. However, you're going to have high skills in other areas because you need to complete difficult quests to get here. And none of these skills are boostable, so you do actually have to train your skills all the way up to this point. However, if you're going for Plague's End anyway, you're going to have to get all those skills to 75, so you might as well just do it. As for the items you're going to need, if the item says obtainable during the quest, that is only if it's not in your bank, so make sure you check your bank for these items before you head out, just because it's going to save you a lot of time just to already have them in your inventory. So for the needed items, you're going to need to start one set of Mourner's Gear. You should have this in your bank. If you don't have it, you can get two when we go and get the one during the quest. However, it'll just be kind of easier to only have to kill one mourner rather than two. So just bring the set of Mourner's Gear if you have it in your bank. If not, you can just get two. You're going to need a new key and a tarnished key. These are obtainable during the quest from the head mourner's desk. If you don't have these, so don't worry about it. You're going to need a death talisman or other access to the death altar, such as the death tiara or a wicked hood with a death talisman in it. You're going to need the color wheel and the notes that you got from Morning's End Part 2. These are both obtainable during the quest also. I have to do that. And you're also going to need a crystal trinket, which is obtainable from Arianwen in Letya. And finally, before we get into the quest, I'm going to go over some items I would recommend you bring. The first is the crystal teleport seeds. You just click this, it takes you right to Letya. This is the fastest way to start the quest and get back to Arianwen at the end of the quest, as well as if you ever need to go back for anything. You're going to want a weapon. Just a melee weapon will do, and around 10 food, just so you have enough inventory space for that extra set of Mourner's Gear, as well as anything else you might have from the needed items list. And don't bring armor unless you need it. It's going to take up a lot of inventory space. Unless you want to bring a summoning familiar, you could do that, but I don't recommend it, just because you don't need it for this quest. And that's really all you're going to need to be able to complete this quest successfully. Let's just move on to the start. So to begin the quest, you're going to want to go into Letya. The fastest way to get there is the crystal teleport seed and speak to Arianwen. This is going to begin the quest. So speak to Arianwen in Letya to begin, and you're just going to want to click through the dialogue. He's going to ask you if you want to help once again with the Temple of Light. When you get the option, choose the first chat option, okay, I'll help. This is going to accept the quest, and he's going to tell you what you're going to need for him to get in and for him to help you. The items that you're going to need consist of a full set of Mourner's Gear. Like I told you earlier, if you don't have that first and second set, we're just going to go get them right now, so don't worry about it. And you're also going to need to talk to the gnome in the Mourner's headquarters, as well as enchanting a crystal seed for Arianwen to get into the temple. First, you're going to want to get the second set of Mourner's Gear for Arianwen, so we're going to head to Arundar. I chose the Eagle's Peak route to get there. You can just walk from Letya to get there also. But if you want to follow along with a guide, I just home teleported to Eagle's Peak and then I walked there. I am going to keep this video at a 1-to-1 speed, mostly during the whole entire thing, except for when the parts that I'm doing you don't need to follow along with exactly, such as the light puzzle, as the light puzzles are going to be different for me and you. If they are the same though, you can kind of just follow around. You may have to pause, but I'm just going to talk over it to kind of give you an idea of what you have to do, as well as being able to follow along side by side with the quest, as that's a new thing that I'm kind of doing, rather than speeding up my quests like I used to. I got a lot of complaints for speeding them up. So when you get to the gates of Arundar, you're just going to want to enter the gates, and you'll be able to kill a mourner. There'll definitely be one there. You just have to kill him and pick up the gear. You're going to see that when I do kill the mourner, I pick up the mourner notes that they drop. You are not going to need those. I just pick them up to be safe. This is where that recommended weapon comes in handy. It's maybe a little hard without it. So make sure you pick up all 6 items of the Mourner set. As long as you've started the quest and you're following along like I have, you shouldn't have to repair any of these items. And remember, you are not going to need the Mourner letter. Next, we're going to head to West Ardoin and into the Mourner's hideout. I just home teleported to Ardoin. If you have a faster way to get there, such as a teleport or something that brings you closer to West Ardoin, just go ahead and do that. But home teleport's free, so that's typically what I use. Just to save a bit of time, I'm going to cross the log. As the quest requires 69 agility, you probably can cross it no problem. So I just went ahead and did that. Make sure you unequip your weapon before you want to go into the Mourner's hideout. You're going to see a small jump cut where I forgot to do that. It's easier just to cut items like that out where I forget to do something rather than leaving them in and having to talk over them. So you're going to see a small jump cut here. And you're going to want to head downstairs next to the head mourner and talk to the gnome. This is where you're going to need the tarnished key and the new key. If you don't have those keys, you're just going to want to go into the head mourner's office, which is the southeastern office there. And you can search his desk and you're going to get both those keys. However, if you have the keys, just go in and speak to the gnome. Choose the first chat option to talk about within the light. And you're going to get the option to tell the truth or to continue the ruse. It's up to you what you want to choose. I chose to tell the truth, so if you want to follow along exactly with the guide, just tell the truth. And your character will tell the gnome that you're actually trying to stop the mourners from doing what bad they're trying to do. He tells you he's going to help you in exchange for his freedom. You don't have to do this. He has no idea whether or not you actually tell the head mourner to let him out. But it's your call, so I decided to be a nice guy, even though it's just an RPG and it matters not at all. I spoke to the head mourner and chose to talk about the gnome. You can totally skip this part if you want. I just decided to go ahead and do it. And the head mourner is going to talk to you about the gnome, and your character will say we should release him. It's the first chat option. And the head mourner tells you he'll think about it. Now you're going to want to go through the door towards the dark beast and towards the temple. We just have one more thing left to do, and that's charging the crystal seed that Arianwen gave you. You're going to need to take off your mourner's headgear for this part. As well as at this moment, we're going to be able to get the color wheel and notes if you don't have them. So you're just going to want to make your way towards the temple the same way you have every other time in Morning's End Part 2. And whatever guard you had to search to get your color wheel and notes in Morning End Part 2 is the guard you're going to want to search this time. And then you need to charge your teleport crystal. So you're just going to want to go east a little bit past the first dead slave. Take off your mourner's headgear as I said. And then click on the blank teleport crystal to chant to it. This is going to start a cutscene where there is a very high-pitched noise if you have your sound on, and some of the mourners bang their heads against the wall and freak out because they can't stand your singing. Alright, now you're just going to want to use your crystal teleport seed and go right back to Letya. And make sure you put your mask back on for this next part, or else you'll have to redo a little bit of dialogue. You're just going to want to speak to Arianwen once more. And choose the first chat option about those tasks I needed to do. Choose the first chat option, sure, take it now, and he's going to change it to his mourner's gear. He'll take the crystal teleport seed next that you just chanted to, and he'll make it so you guys can both teleport in. And he'll make sure that you have a distraction set up, which was the gnome. So you're going to be all good here. Choose the first chat option. I'm ready. Let's go. and you guys are going to be teleported into the light temple, or just outside it actually. You're going to want to run west from here. I was a little disoriented, so I ran east. Quickly realized I was going the wrong way. Now, as soon as you get in the temple, you're going to want to go all the way up to the top floor. If you don't remember how to do that, you just want to climb the stairs and then run south to the ladder on the wall and climb up that. Don't worry about the shades, as Arianwen will attack them for you. So once you're up the stairs, to the south wall to the ladder. And then climb down the stairs in the middle of the room. Go all the way down and pass through the light door. And then you're going to search the pillar of light that's shining on the light door and rotate the mirror so that it's facing the pillar with the 4 light beams. 3 currently, now 4. Investigate the energized pillar. And then you're going to want to go into the death altar and speak to Thorgal. Choose the first chat option to speak about within the light. Click through all the dialogue options and then speak to Arianwen. And Arianwen is going to tell you to go out and investigate the energized pillar. Investigate it, click through the dialogue box that pops up, and go back in and speak to Arianwen. Your character is going to tell Arianwen it felt like the same energy that powered up the crystal when you first repaired the temple in Morning's End Part 2, so we recommend that you use the crystal on the energized pillar, so go do that now. That's the crystal trinket on the energized pillar. You'll get a little flash on your screen. Go back in and speak to Arianwen once more, and he says that the vessel, which is the crystal trinket, may be too small, and that you should probably use yourself. So choose the third chat option. I'm not even going to argue. Thorgal tells you that he's going to go into the death altar to help you get up on the altar itself. And then you're going to want to head into the mysterious ruins, which is the death altar. Speak to Thorgal once you're here. And choose the first chat option to speak about within the light. Then follow that up with the second chat option. Okay, let's do this. And he's going to help your character up onto the death altar itself. We have this little kind of cutscene animation thing here where your character gets death energy imbued in themselves. And Thorgal tells you should hurry as it might not last very long. So enter the portal you came in through, and this is going to take you back to the Temple of Light. Exit through the light door, and then search the pillar of light with the red beam to rotate it back towards the other door. Now go through the light barrier, climb up the staircase, and then the staircase to the north. And then you're going to walk all the way east to the pillar, or to the crystal. Investigate the crystal. And you're going to have 2 runes floating around your body, and they're going to be making a little bit of noise. Now you're going to want to return to the bottom floor and investigate the energized pillar once more. So climb down the northern staircase, and then down the western one. Pass right back through the light door, and head over to investigate the energized pillar. Don't worry about rotating the mirror at all. And this is going to take you into the light puzzle room. Now, your light puzzle is going to be different than mine. I just want to set you up for that. I will give you instructions on how to complete the puzzle, but you'll have to figure it out on your own, unless you got lucky and your room is exactly the same as mine. You're going to get this small cutscene here. You're going to want to pay attention to where each color is on the wall. The only color that's going to be on the western wall is going to be yellow for now. The other ones will light up as you unlock more. And then you're going to have a light beam on the eastern wall you can see here going into a crystal tree that has an option to chop it. Now, once this small cutscene is over, the first thing you're going to want to do is go and chop that crystal tree with the blue light beam. click through the dialog, and then you're going to click Fix once more. This is going to use fletching to complete the crystal tree, and you'll be able to get a light beam through. Now you want to get the blue beam into the yellow light receiver. So the blue must meet the yellow. All you have to do is turn the crystal course in the trees, as you can see here, to line it up with the yellow. When you get it right, you're going to get this little cutscene, and it's going to unlock the next light as well as the next light receiver. Now I've got this sped up because yours might be different, but I'm still going to explain it. So you need to combine red and blue into magenta, and those must meet the green light receiver that just opened up. Now these kind of take me a little longer, that's why they're sped up. If they weren't sped up, it would be a much longer video, probably close to an hour. So I had to speed it up, as just watching me do the wrong thing for a while isn't going to help you at all. So you just need to be able to combine these lights before they meet at the green pillar and get them to direct into the green pillar. Once you've figured it out, you're going to unlock the next light receiver as well as the next light. The next light is going to be green, and the next receiver is going to be red. So you must combine green and blue into cyan to meet the red receiver. So once you have the green in, you're going to want to somehow get the blue over there. Like I said, your puzzle is going to be different than mine, so I just wanted to show you what it should look like when you meet it there, but it's not going to be exactly the same. Now, you must combine all three to meet the black receiver. I've sped this up even more, as this took me roughly 15 minutes to figure out. Don't stress it too much, you'll eventually get it just by playing around. I will slow it down, however, when I finally realize what I need to do, just in case it somehow helps you. You'll see that there is only one pillar that can be in the final row, or there's two pillars in the final row where the black receiver is, so all light must pass through one of those two. The closest one, all light has to pass through it. And the second one, the furthest one, can pass light through. That's really all the tips I can give you. Watching me do it might help you some, but you just have to keep in mind that you need to combine all three colors to meet the black receiver. Keep in mind you can use almost all the light pillars to get there, so don't try and cramp yourself into one small area like I did here, because it was actually detrimental. You can go around as much as you want, as long as they all come back to the same receiver. It's right about here I begin to figure it out, where I need to have the red combine with the blue, because the green and blue have already combined here. So I use the back receiver, or the back light pillar, like core thing, to line them up and shoot all the way down. So I just need to get the red to somehow go around to there. So I take the red and I direct it around the back towards the first receiver I had to go through, as well as the green one. And then I just need to fix the green line here, direct it through, and I've unlocked the black receiver. Now, when you finally get the white light into the black receiver, it's going to drop a ladder on the southern wall. When you climb up this ladder, you're going to be put into a small maze, but it's less of a maze, more of a jump puzzle kind of thing. There's going to be a bunch of gaps. You can only jump a certain direction, and some platforms have spikes. You just have to watch out for the spikes, and eventually it's going to take you right to that crystal ballista on the western side. So you can eat the damage that the spikes give to you. It's entirely possible to avoid it all the way, but if you haven't used much food this far, you still have that around 10 food I recommended at the beginning of the quest. You can just tank the damage and eat through it. Each spike's only going to hit you between 5 and 1,000 hit points each time, so you can take 2 to 4 hits before you even have to eat a shark. And there's only one possible path to follow, so you're not going to get lost. You just have to look at what sides are blocked off, and those are the directions you can't go. Now there's a target on the western wall that the crossbow is pointed at. However, the target's moving. You just have to time your crossbow shot when you get to the end to hit that target. You have unlimited shots. Just keep shooting till you hit it, essentially. I got it on my first try, and it happened to be right there when I jumped over. So you won't see much footage of that, as I didn't expect to hit it, and I actually got it on my first shot. So I just wanted to make sure I took a little bit of time to explain that. You can see it's about here that I realized that you're not going to take much damage from the spikes. You can just eat the damage and jump across. And when you do get across and you shoot the crossbow, you're going to get a rumbling. That is essentially the door in the light puzzle room that you just came from opening. So you can see I got it first shot, almost missed it, but I did get it. And what you want to do here is just go right back to the light puzzle room. So you have to go back through the maze you just jumped through and climb back up the ladder. Or down. It just says jump to. Gotta climb the ladder. I'm assuming we went up. I think we went up. Because, yeah, the ladder dropped down. We're higher. This is definitely higher than the light puzzle room. This is above it. That doesn't matter. I'm just figuring this out. Talking out loud. Alright, enjoy the music. Once you've made your way back through the maze, you're going to want to jump to the ladder and climb down. And you're going to be back in the light puzzle room. You're going to see that there's an open door now on the western side. You're just going to want to go through the door. And you're going to see a dead elf messenger. You're going to want to search his body now. And you're going to get a report. Read the report. Click through it, and then exit out of it, and your character is going to say you should take this back to Arianwin. But don't teleport out yet. You're going to want to go back through the large door and exit through the portal in the room with the light puzzle. It's going to be on the southern wall. Now you're going to want to take the red light beam in the pillar of light just by the door and rotate the mirror so that it's going into the four-way pillar. That way you can get into the death altar. So pass through the light door and go into the death altar. And you're going to want to speak to Thorgal once you're in here. Going to want to choose the first chat option within the light. And then once again, the first chat option to explain. Thorgal tells you should go back and speak to Arianwen. But once again, don't teleport out yet. You're going to want to enter the portal. Go back out through the light door and rotate the red beam. That way it's going back into the light door so you can get back in at a later time. So you're going to want to rotate the mirror. Once you've done that, now you're going to want to use your crystal teleport seed to get back to Letya. Go in and speak to Arianwen. And you're just going to want to click through all the dialogue options here. You're going to run through some story stuff, some lore. He's going to tell you everything you did, basically summarize the quest. And then that is going to be quest complete. If this helped, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're bored, check out some other stuff. I do all sorts of guides, and I just started my first series. It's a Hardcore Iron Man series, so definitely go check that out, and thanks for watching.